Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. In this sponsored, and yes, I said sponsored video, we are going to analyze a very interesting video that a certain individual made about me. And I was compared to the world famous meat smoker, meat thruster, meat gargler, Kevin. Yes, apparently I am in the same league as Meet Kevin. But before we dive into the video, I want to reiterate and remind you, I'm actually better than Meet Kevin. I'm smarter than Meet Kevin, and I speak the truth. Whereas Meet Kevin is a slippery, nasty little grifter. So let's dive into this sponsored video where I react to a 14-minute video of a comparison between me, Christopher Bell, certified public accountant, strongman personal finance, and Meet Kevin, certified grifter extraordinaire. And yes, this is a sponsored video. If you want a sponsored video, see the pinned comment, send me $50. Okay, let's get into it. So here we have this man, Eric Berry. He has 147 subscribers, and I am not mocking him for that because I remember when I had 147 subscribers, and I'm not even that big now, okay? But when it comes to YouTube, it's a pain in the butt. You know, it's really hard to get big on YouTube. You got to really push hard. Anyway, he made a pretty good video. I actually watched this beforehand. And yeah, it's a pretty funny video. So we're going to see whether Meet Kevin or Strongman are better. The video is titled Meet Kevin versus Strongman Personal Finance, Roasted and Revealed. If you want to see the video, I put the link in the pinned comment of this live stream, and it'll be in the pinned comment at the conclusion of this live stream. So let's see what Mr. Berry, Harry Berry, has to say. We'll make this big like my dick.
Eric Berry is not a financial advisor. Nothing in this video shall be construed as financial advice.
Don't
This
sue me,
video
bro.
is strictly for entertainment purposes. Errors and omissions may occur. Please do your own research.
If you haven't made money,
By the way, any criticisms of me are obviously errors and omissions.
in Tesla, Bitcoin, and Apple, are you even an investor? Are you even paying attention?
Wait, what did you just say about Bitcoin? Hold on, let's go back. I forgot this part. What are you shilling Bitcoin, boy? This is unacceptable.
If you haven't made money in Tesla, Bitcoin, and Apple, are you even an investor?
If you made money on Bitcoin, you are not an investor. You are a gambling, speculative, degenerate clown. Okay? If you made money in Tesla or Apple, I hope that those investments are inside a total world ETF and not bought individually. Because if you are buying those stocks individually, you are a clown. They are already the top holdings of every single major total market index. So you don't need to freaking buy them individually. Oh, I got Tesla, bro. Oh, me too. Look at the top holdings of VT.
Are you even paying attention?
No.
People know that I'm up 1,200% on Palantir, that I'm up 750% on Hood. So they want my opinion. They're always asking me about.
Oh, are you? Really? Interesting. Show me more. You must know what you're talking about, bro.
These finance YouTubers. They want to know about Meet Kevin. They want to know about Chris Sane. They want to know about Strongman. They want to know about Graham Steffi. So in this video, I'm going to compare Meet Kevin to Strongman Personal Finance and see if we can figure out who is better at stocks and just understanding the stock market.
I'm flattered that I'm in the big leagues now, apparently. Okay, but the funny thing is, I have the smallest channel by far of all those morons, and I am the correct one. I am the smart one out of that group. I'm just gonna put that out there. What I say isn't popular because you morons want to sniff your vertical lines.
All right, here we go. Just to give you a quick backstory, Meet Kevin got started on YouTube making videos about real estate. Then he started trolling Grant Cardone. Then he started making videos about stocks. And then he hit the mother lode when he started making videos about stimulus checks. He made dozens of videos about stimmy checks, and that's what really put him on the map. Now, Strongman Personal Finance, he got started making boring-ass whiteboard videos while wearing his grandmother's sunglasses.
Okay, first of all, this is a very, very informative video, okay? It shows you the power of dollar cost averaging. And yes, this is now my son's room, so I can't use that anymore. But yes, I used to have a whiteboard. And look at that. Look at that sexy body. Sorry, I got distracted. This is a very informative video that shows you that if you just freaking dollar cost average and never sell like a clown, you can make a lot of money over time. It doesn't even take a lot as long as you start when you're young. Look at this. Man, damn, I'm hot. Woo!
And he slowly became frustrated because he wasn't getting much traction. He wasn't getting a lot of views, and he was noticing that these other people that he deemed to be idiots and grifters were getting a ton of views and a ton of respect. So he started making videos calling these people out.
Look at this. Man, these were the good old days. Look at this, man. You know, like, oh, such good times, okay? So, yeah, basically, that's kind of how it happened. I quickly realized, like, people don't care about boring finance videos. They don't care. So I kind of came up with this concept of I'm going to be the funny index guy. That was kind of my, like, angle into this market. I was like, every time somebody talks about index funds, they're like, I like total market investing. It's really good. And it's freaking boring. And I'm like, you know what? I could be the funny VT guy. So I started roasting individual stocks. And then I saw these scumbags. Okay. They were mostly introduced to me by Jay Nagy. He's got another YouTube channel. Go subscribe. But he started telling me about these other people. And I started watching their YouTube channels. And I'm like, these people are morons. And I was looking at their views and their subs. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? This is insane. So I started making videos, like making fun of them because I was literally in shock. I used to be a financial advisor. I didn't know you could just like pump out the garbage they pump out. I couldn't believe they were doing this. So I'm like, I'm going to mock these freaking clowns. And it kind of worked. Okay. And now I'm here where I'm at, grifting and begging for money like a brokey. So yeah, these are some of my better performing videos making fun of all the morons.
Of which Meet Kevin was one of them. And Meet Kevin actually agreed somehow to do a debate with Strongman on Strongman's channel. And that kind of put Strongman Personal Finance on the map. Okay? So the first thing we're going to look at here is credentials. What kind of credentials do these two have? Now, Meet Kevin is a pilot. He's a YouTuber. He's a real estate broker. He was a gubernatorial candidate. That's
Man, those are all indicative of really good stock trading skills, isn't it?
kind of just a fancy way of saying that he ran for governor, which sounds impressive, but, I mean, Gary Coleman did it. Gary Coleman did it. Now, Strongman Personal Finance used to call out Meet Kevin for not being a financial advisor because a lot of what he was doing in his earlier videos, I think most people would describe as giving financial advice. So Meet
Yes, he eventually became a licensed financial advisor. He did, but he wasn't. That's what initially shocked me about this, because when I was a financial advisor, they were pretty adamant that you couldn't just go out there and just like give financial advice. You had to basically follow the company approved posts. You couldn't just be a freaking clown, basically. And I was under the impression that you couldn't just go on the internet and just spout off all this financial suggestive content. And lo and behold, I see these people doing it. And I'm like, what? This is crazy. Okay. But he did eventually become licensed. Oh, but then he basically got rid of his license because his stock hack failed. Remember that? Yeah, it quietly failed. He never mentioned it until Daddy found it.
Kevin actually went and got all those FINRA certifications, you know, the 7, the 14, a whole bunch of them, which may or may not still be active.
I don't think
that is unknown. Now, Strongman Personal Finance, he is a CPA. He got a bachelor's in accounting, a master's in accounting, and then he became a CPA. I believe he's still in the reserves.
Actually, good sir, I got a bachelor's in history many years ago, like a clown. And then I got a bachelor's in accounting. Then I got the CPA. Then I got a master's because I thought it would help me in NASA. And NASA's stupid. And yeah. But yes, I'm a very credentialed, experienced accountant. Okay. But even that doesn't necessarily qualify you to like outperform the market. And that's not my goal. That's not my goal. I mean, I've bought individual stocks before, but ultimately 95% or more now, 95% plus of my portfolio is in treasuries, basically savings account, and VT. I think that's the best way to do it personally.
And he also was a financial advisor at some point.
Yep.
And he did something at NASA. Always complaining about his work at NASA. I don't know what he did there.
I was an accountant. It was freaking lame. You want to talk about boring? Go work at NASA. You sit there like a slug. Oh, it's NASA. Oh, it's so impressive. It's freaking lame. It's for losers and slugs. Get a real job.
Maybe he was a janitor. I'm going to give this one to SMPF. I'm going to give this one to Strongman. You know, the CPA don't play. Let's go with him on this one.
That's right, boy. Kevin is the only credential Kevin really has is grifting. He destroys me in grifting. I cannot compete.
Wow. I lost this.
All right, the next thing we're going to look at is professionalism.
Oh, I got this one in the bag.
If you're going to listen to somebody about stocks, you want them to be professional, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about Meet Kevin. You know, sometimes he's got pink hair, sometimes he's got green hair, sometimes he's got a messy beard. But in general, he's articulate, he's thorough, he gets his point across, he's got good audio, he's got good video. He'll cover a ton of information very quickly and efficiently, and overall, very polished, very polished.
Yeah. That's intentional. That is very intentional, people. Trust me.
Now, Strongman Personal Finance, sometimes he's got his shirt off. Sometimes he's got a dip in. Sometimes he makes this like mating sound.
There is no one like me, ladies and gentlemen.
So for this one we're going to give to Meet Kevin.
What?
We're going to give this one to Meet Kevin.
Me, Kevin's more professional than me? No way. Look, I don't want to be professional, okay? My dream is to be able to sit here shirtless or in a bathrobe and make a ton of money doing taxes in YouTube. That's the dream. I don't have to be a little corporate,
I got my suit. I look really good and professional.
that's lame. That's boring. I want to be the maximum clown I possibly could be and still make lots of money. That's true freedom. And that's freaking awesome. Who wants to wear a suit making a YouTube video? You think I want to put a freaking suit on? Get out of here.
Wow, he got me.
Next thing we're going to look at is who took the biggest L? Meet Kevin. He shuttered his ETF called PP. It was very short-lived. You know, I got to think he spent more time hyping up that he was going to have an ETF than it actually existed.
There's so many L's that Meet Kevin took. I can't even remember them all. I can't. The Jet. Okay. Total disaster. Stock hack. Disaster. God, there's so many. It's freaking, when he destroyed his portfolio back in 2021, when the freaking bubble popped in 2021, 2022. Just L after L. FTX. L after L after L. And people still fluff him. He's invincible. He can't be stopped. It's because of you clowns.
So that's a big L right there.
And the PP is actually a massive L. You want to know why? Because he couldn't hide it. He could not hide his underperformance. Most grifters are successful because they deceive you into thinking that they're good investors. They're not. They're frauds. They lose money hand over fist, but you don't really see it. You don't see their total returns. Meet Kevin couldn't hide it. And when he couldn't hide it, he got obliterated. But then, of course, he totally shuttered PP to give money back to investors for house hack.
Wow.
Let's talk about Strongman. Biggest L. He chickened out on Alibaba. Now, he made all these videos hyping up Alibaba, and he bought like $6-7 worth of it. And then he got cold feet and he sold it at $95 a share. This thing went up to $180. He could have.
Okay, hold on a minute. I got to set the record straight here. Yes, my average was 130. I don't remember exactly when I sold it. I admitted my mistake of buying an individual stock when my bet was on a country. I don't think China is going to zero. I think it's a freaking joke. I think China is going to beat the United States. Personally, that's my personal opinion, okay? U.S. is a bunch of freaking morons. But a big part of the story is I actually did buy a China ETF. I tax loss harvested, okay? Some of it I put into a solo 401k, and the rest I put into a China ETF. I was able to take the tax loss, and I'm still exposed to China. And I've learned I'm never buying an individual stock again. I'm only going to buy ETFs on certain themes or countries if I believe it's nonsense. I will never buy an individual stock again because my whole thesis behind Alibaba wasn't necessarily the company itself. It was that the narrative surrounding China was apocalyptic. I should have just bought a China ETF. And that, if I ever speculate again, that's what I'm doing in the future. Okay? Never buy. You don't need to buy individual stocks. You can buy ETFs. There's a freaking thematic ETF for everything. If you're worried, if you think software is getting sold off and it's undervalued because you think AI is not really going to destroy a lot of software companies, okay, find a thematic software ETF that fits the bill. You don't need to buy individual stocks because even if the country, like even if China recovers massively, right? The company you bought could still suck. But if you're buying the country as a whole, you have a much better shot of succeeding. Now, Alibaba's gone, it's gone. It's like probably, I don't know what it is, 180 or something right now. The China ETF, it's underperformed Alibaba, but it's been doing pretty well this year. It's up like 42%. Okay, maybe Alibaba goes to the moon. Maybe it crashes. But China as a whole, I'm more comfortable owning China as a whole than buying one freaking company. I'll never buy an individual stock again. And okay, maybe not never, but if I do, it ain't going to be a lot of money and it's going to be for fun. Okay, but I'm not at that point in my life. I need to hold on to my cash like a miser.
Doubled up. So he's going to take the L on that. He doesn't seem to know how to factor in meme magic or heat to a stock.
Meme magic or heat. You know what that's called? That's called nonsense, garbage, clownery. Meme magic. Yeah, if something is described as meme magic, it tends to collapse like 90% plus or go bankrupt. That's been my experience with meme magic.
He just reads those financial statements, looks at the PE ratio, the revenue, and that's it. So who gets the bigger L? I'm going to give it to me, Kevin.
Yeah, he better give me. He's had so many L's, dude. I mean, like, so many. I can't even remember them all. I saw a member comment. We'll cover it when we do member comments, but this dude, he's not a good investor. He's awful. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I've made more money in the stock market when it comes to percentages than him by far. Now, in absolute terms, maybe he's beat me because people have thrown millions of dollars at him. And if you're investing in millions of dollars and you get a 3% return, that's a lot of freaking money in absolute terms. But percentage-wise, no. I don't think me, Kevin, has even come close to my total returns.
Let me see here. We'll be talking about the biggest W. Who got the biggest W, the biggest win? From what I could find, doing a little...
Does me, Kevin, have any wins? Like, honestly, does he really have any wins? His only win is having a huge channel and a bunch of sycophants and clowns that fluff him endlessly no matter how much he screws up. So, yeah, when it comes to YouTube channel size, oh, yeah, he's winning, bro. He's crushed me. When it comes to, like, actual performance, I don't think he has many major wins. Because to me, a win is like lifetime total returns. It's not, oh, I bought one stock that went up 100%, and then I bought 5 stocks that went down 90%, but I got to win, bro. No, that's not how that works. It's your total return for your total portfolio. That's a win. Okay, that's what the metric should be, not one stock you bought or one crypto he bought.
Research. It looks like Meet Kevin has made about $2-3 million on Tesla stock, selling Tesla stock.
This mother effer, I remember he bought it in like the 400s right before the implosion. Okay. And I know he sold it after it dropped. But at the end of the day, you don't know. Excuse me. You don't know what his returns are. For me, basically, you just look at VT. That's basically my return. You can track my returns. I can't hide it. I can't obfuscate. With Kevin, you have no idea how much money he's made on anything. It's impossible to know. Okay? So you can't compare us. That's why people, well, somebody bought a stock that went up with more than VT. I don't care. You can actually see my returns. You can't see other people's returns. Fact. Oh, that's a really fair fight.
So that's a huge
Oh, and the one time somebody tried that, I destroyed them, a.k.a. Jeremy.
win. Strongman personal finance. He's always faithfully hyping VT, the ETF VT. What's his big win? He predicted the downfall of T Chef, Tattooed Chef. This is one of his crowning achievements, predicting that. And no one saw this coming. One of the other finance.
Oh, some people saw it coming. This probably was my greatest victory. This was the highlight. But I knew this company would go bankrupt and nothing would happen to Jeremy. He would get made fun of, ha ha ha, for a couple months, and then everybody would forget about it. And look what happened. But yes, this probably was one of my crowning achievements, and I will be forever proud of what I did to mentally destroy the fraud that is Jeremy Lefebvre, and to call out this piece of garbage stock that I'm glad is gone forever. Hopefully, the company's still around. I hope they never go public again.
YouTubers, Jeremy Lafufu used to go to Target undercover and kind of hang out by the freezer section, and he would tally.
He's such a weirdo, man. He's such a weirdo.
How many people were buying the soy boy meal? And based on that, this other guy, Jeremy Lafufu, he had it pegged as being a big hit, a big winner. But even with all that evidence to the contrary, Strongman predicted T Chef's downfall and ended up being right.
Oh, what else? Honest collapsed. Voyager collapsed. Beyond Meat collapsed. These are all Jeremy stocks, by the way. Planet 13 collapsed. What else? I was right about everything. And the only reason Jeremy Lafufu is getting the views and all that crap he's getting is because AI, my rainbow guy, bailed out all the freaking grifters. People were in utter collapse. They were in tatters over all these stupid stocks and cryptos that got annihilated. And I felt the victory. I'm like, yes, the grifters are going to be gone. And then, of course, the market rallied. Now they're all freaking geniuses again. Welcome to my life.
Now, the sad thing is, he predicted a lot of stocks dive bombing, Honest, Voyager Digital, Tattooed Chef, etc. But as far as I know, he never got any put options.
Why would I buy put options? Why? Yeah, I can't predict when these things are going to collapse. I think the market's in a bubble now, but how am I going to predict that? I don't know when the bubble pops. Never buy puts. It's not a good idea. Just be long in a total world index, hold it forever, reinvest dividends, don't try to time the market, and then you could sell your ETF in freaking retirement if you need to. That's it. You don't need to buy puts. You don't need to sell calls, bro. You don't need to do any of this. You could just buy and hold a broadly diversified total market ETF, and you'll be just freaking fine. I don't get where this gambling mentality comes from. Oh, wait, it's encouraged by all your favorite stocks like Robinhood. See, when I was coming up in the investing world, I didn't even know how to buy an individual stock. I just had an automatic contribution to my 401k. That's all I did. That's all I did. And it works. It actually works. I never had a destruction event. I never got wiped out in anything. My portfolio's just gone up. Oh, so hard.
So I think for the W, we're going to have to give this one to Meet Kevin.
What? What? Meet Kevin, he doesn't have any W's. What's his W? Seriously. Oh, I think he made $2 million on Tesla stock. Strongman mentally destroyed multiple grifters. Oh, trust me. I got into Kevin's head. I got into Jeremy's head. I got into all these clowns' heads. Okay? Because I speak the truth. They could say whatever they want to freaking say. They could shill all their nonsense. But when they listen to Daddy speak and they see the power of my thum, the power of my voice, the power of my truth, the light, they cannot resist. They know that I am the salvation of the retail investor. They know their doom is inevitable when they hear my voice clapping their cheeks verbally. Yeah, that's right. How dare you give Meet Kevin a win for the... What W's does Meet Kevin have besides grifting like a psychotic maniac?
Gonna have to give to Meet Kevin.
Oh, come on. This is nonsense.
The next thing we're gonna look at here is investing strategy. Strongman. He doesn't want you to use your brain. Okay, he wants you to get a diversified ETF and just consistently invest on a schedule. Now, this makes perfect sense if you have a work 401k where they do a match. You know, if a company...
Oh, don't use your brain. Oh, guess what? Your brain can't comprehend all the possible factors that are in every single stock in the stock market. You think your one brain can really comprehend what's going on? All the variables that impact stock price valuations? No, you can't. Okay? You think you're smarter than you actually are. I don't care if you bought the dip and a stock went vertical. Okay? I know you're only shilling your wins and hiding your losses. I know how all you little clowns work. Okay? I'm not saying to be dumb. You know where you should use your brain power? Maybe getting a skill in the real world. Yeah, that's where you should direct your brain power. Freaking clowns.
He's going to pay me to invest every week or bi-weekly with my pay period. I'll do that, right? But if I'm self-funding my Roth, you better believe I'm going to time the market.
No, you don't have to time the market for anything. You could be 100% index your whole life. Why do you have the time depending on the type of account? No, in my Roth, it's VT. But I've just put money in VT in my Roth. I don't time my Roth. That's a retirement account. You're supposed to lock it away till you're 59 and a half. No. Okay? You can be 100% index your entire investing career. It does not matter what freaking account it's in. If you want to time the market, okay, use Robinhood as like a fun account. That's it. Couple thousand, have fun, do whatever stupid nonsense you want to do. But for the big boy accounts like the 401k and the IRA, yeah, you're not going to time. You're going to buy VT, you're going to hold it, you're going to reinvest dividends, and you're going to shut your mouth.
Now, remember, the person that invented the phrase "don't time the market," they didn't have the internet. They didn't have anything. Pull up this chart of 2025. Do you want to take a guess at when I invested my funds in my Roth? Do you want to take a guess when I did that?
I don't know. When the next year opened, I mean, I try to max my Roth starting in January. Okay, well, why are you timing contributions to a Roth? Just get the money in and buy the VT or whatever, VTI, whatever, and just hold it. You don't need to time the Roth. Why are you timing Roths? If you hold off too long, guess what? You can't put money in. Once the time window expires, you're cooked.
When I picked the funds or stocks where I wanted it to go, can you take a guess at what part of 2025 I did that? Right here. Now, Strongman.
Oh, I bet you did. You know why he did that? That's April. You have until April 15th, 2025 to fund your account. So yes, he put it in April right before it expired. He didn't time it. He just said, hey, I need to get my contribution in before the window expires. Come on, dude. No, stop. Stop. A lot of people fund their Roths on April 15th or right before that because that's the time that expires to make the prior year's contribution. Stop, dude. Just stop. Oh, you're such a genius, bro. You knew the tariffs, bro. You knew it, bro. Yeah, okay.
I would say that's illegal. I shouldn't have been able to time the market.
You didn't time
when I saw the market drop 20%. I shouldn't have take advantage of that situation. Now,
why are you holding cash? What if the market didn't drop 20%? What if it went up in a vertical line? You don't know where the market's going to go. You really know? You can time Trump's tweets? No, you can't. Okay? I know you funded it because it was April. I'm a CPA. I know. Okay? You dollar cost average. You buy the dips and you buy the rips, and it averages out.
if you can read and have a brain, hopefully you can make some moves.
Oh, yeah, you got a brain because it dipped and you bought it. Wow, what a genius. You know, if you're dollar cost averaging, you're also buying the dip. You can DCA your Roth. You can DCA anything.
I don't know. Did you not see that the chips were going to be a thing? That's what I was saying. Strong man doesn't want.
Yeah, I let the market decide that. Go look at the top holdings of VT. Isn't NVDA the number one stock in VT? Wow, I have gotten gains from VT because of NVIDIA is the top holding. You know, maybe chips weren't going to be a thing, or maybe they weren't going to be as big a thing as we thought they were going to be. You don't know, but you still capture that return buying all the stocks in the index. Most stocks underperform a freaking treasury in the long run. And you got to be very selective and really find those individual stocks that are going to beat a treasury over the long term. Good luck with that.
I want you to use your brain. Meet Kevin wants your brain to explode. I mean, he gets down in the weeds about every little thing. You know, Trump said this, Trump said that, crypto, every damn thing. He'll make a video about the Fed chairman farting and want to make a play based on that.
Did he really do that? See, that's called, if you're watching the market like that, you're going to panic. If you watch me, Kevin, you're going to panic. You're going to make a stupid decision. Okay? I can make videos like pretending to be a panic PIMP, but guess what? At the end of the day, my thesis is always the same. Dollar cost average, reinvest dividends, hold the freaking VT regardless of what happens. That's my strategy. And it works, okay? Because you'll freak out watching him. And guess what? He's a terrible trader. PP is proof. So why you think all his research works? He spends all this time analyzing. And yeah, I said analyzing. And guess what? His PP sucked.
Now, sometimes he'll hype a stock in a video, and then on a live stream, he'll say, "Oh, I found new information. This stock is trash."
He's a clown. That's true. He is a clown.
I flip-flopped. Wow.
That just absolves him of all his mistakes.
I flip-flopped. Wow.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're an idiot, but you flip-flopped. As long as you say you flip-flopped, everything's excusable, bro.
So unless you're watching every piece of content he's putting out, you don't really know where he stands on something, on a particular.
You could watch all his content. You still wouldn't know where he stands. He changes his mind every 5 seconds. I've been consistent the entire time I've been on freaking YouTube. I'm a man. He's a chick.
Stock, or whether he's bullish or bearish, it's changing by the day, by the hour, by the minute. He's all over the place. Pricing power, buying on margin, trying to hedge, FUD farts with a veneer of overconfidence, something like that.
Notice the first 3 letters of the word confidence. What are the first 3 letters, people? I'll let you decide.
That. It's just drama for your mama. I think of investing kind of like jury duty on a civil case. The preponderance of evidence show that your prediction is more likely than not.
Like how it's zooming into the woman's boobies. That's fine, by the way.
Now, you also could up it to the criminal standard, which is beyond a reasonable doubt. Like during the meme stonk craze, it was beyond a
You got this Amerifat and this freaking model here.
reasonable doubt that GameStop was going to tendy pop if Robinhood hadn't intervened and halted the stock and only allowed sells and no buys. So that's kind of how I look at the stock market. I want to give you an example here. Let's take
Okay, so you're a gambler. I got it.
Cracker Barrel. So in the matter of 2-3 days, they announce to the world they're not doing well, and they piss off all their customers. Is that enough evidence to buy a put option? I don't know. You tell me. Strongman would say no. He would.
No, you never buy put options. You're just going to waste your money. Sometimes you'll be right. Sometimes you'll be wrong. And at the end of the day, I bet you it balances out to freaking zero. Or more likely, you lost money.
Say you can buy X amount of Cracker Barrel as long as it's 1 to 5% of your portfolio, but you're not allowed to capitalize on a situation. Yeah,
It's called gambling, and you're not capitalizing. You're just betting on a stock fluctuation. Options are inherently gambling. At least when you go long a stock, you're not necessarily gambling. If you think a company is going to be a great thing over the next 30 years and you just buy and hold it, that's investing. If you're just buying it to try to get a vertical line and sell it, that's gambling. You might as well just trade crypto, to be perfectly honest.
You don't mess around with options too much. It's just kind of risky. You could buy a call option, get into a car accident, be put into a medically induced coma, and then while you're out.
Why is he looking at his phone if he's in a coma? But right before he gets put out, I need to make my last put option.
Your option hits the strike price, it executes, and then the stock immediately tanks. Then you wake up from the coma, and the doctor says, I have good news and bad news. The good news is you survived. The bad news is you're left holding the bag.
I like how he has like a, it's not even like a blanket. It's like those little napkins you get when you go to the dentist. Oh, man. I love AI.
Bag on Adobe. So I'm going to give this to Strongman.
That's
investing
right, boy.
Strategy. Yeah,
Daddy.
I think for the average investor, the basic normie, it's probably the safer bet.
Oh, I win. And oh, by the way, you're not a normie if you're buying VT. Who buys VT, really? The normies are trading. I'm the contrarian.
And that
I'm the Chad. I'm the manly man.
makes the winner Strongman. From the channel Strongman Personal Finance. Good job. You won. You won
right,
something.
boy.
Don't sue me, Kev. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the subscribe and check you later. Bye-bye.
All right, that was a pretty well put together video. Okay, it was pretty entertaining. I've seen him comments on my channel before. So Eric Berry, you can watch the video yourself. The only reason I'm liking it is because I won. Okay. Okay, look at this guy, Gen X 10%er. I listened to this at 3X and understood it all. I enjoy Strongman, but Meet Kevin is an A+ player in what? Grifting? So much so that sometimes I wonder if he had an identical twin and they traded off to keep the show going. He is very good at hustling and grifting. I can respect the hustle in and of itself. He does, quote unquote, work hard. He's always doing something. He's a very, productive's a bad word, but he's always doing something. But when it comes to like actual results, the only results he's generated are convincing people that he's good when he's not. How many times do I have to prove this? Strongman doesn't have nearly the following dollars or resources that Kevin had. Strongman is big on VT, rarely wears a shirt, and hardly buys anything else, so pretty much sums it up. That is true. Kevin has destroyed me in the game of YouTube finance. He's the king, which shows how insane this freaking world is. All right, so his channel's in the pinned comment. You want to go check it out. Yes, this was a sponsored video. If you want a sponsored video, you got to send me money. See the pinned comment below. All right, let's do some member comments. Then we got to go on to the SOFI video. I just got home to the return of Gil is gone. We don't know where Gil is. I think he's laying on his stomach right now. He's recovering. He might be in the hospital with a dental napkin on his back, covering his the middle section of his body, his butt. Gil is still in hiding. Hilarious warning intro. It's pretty funny. Don't sue me, bro. And watch, I'll be the one that gets sued. Everybody, all these other grifters will be fine. I'll get freaking sued. Alan, time the market just perfect. Everybody on YouTube. Oh, yeah, everybody's always winning, bro. Nobody loses, bro. If you want to make money, just sell at the top. You know what, man? That is insanely good advice. It's easy, bro. Just sell the top. Yeah, we got some laughing emojis from Mr. DH. Duck Hugger. Look at the guns on. I am a jacked mother effer. I am a very attractive jacked man. Very important to underperform for all these years. Yep, literally everybody. Now, there is not one single person who has underperformed VT. I am literally the worst performing investor out of every human being who actively participates in markets. Fact. Now you're just a beta. A beta? I'm a Chad. Yeah, grifting got to his head. What are we whining about now? Strongman also realized he was wrong. What was I wrong about? What was I wrong about? I win no matter what. You people are never going to understand this. I always win. I can't lose. But somebody made more. I don't care. And what if they destroy their portfolio next year? I don't care. I got to be number one. I got to be the best returns ever. Yeah. I got to beat everybody. Okay. Keep gambling. So you don't want to beat the market by buying VT, so why buy it? Oh my God, dude, are you, this is the masterful troll. You are a clown. You are a clown, good sir. I miss Gil. Yeah, the comments are light. He's like half of my comments, dude. Rip Gil. He'll be back. Day one begging for Gil to return. Gil, we miss you, daddy. Dog, man, I'm going to buy some out-of-the-money leaps on VT. You finally convinced me. Yes. Yeah, whenever you see an opportunity, whenever it dips, buy puts. Whenever it goes up, buy calls. Meet Kevin's L's. FTX, the plane, PPETF, all the DUI, the governor race, nanny lawsuit, his 2022 $20 million portfolio liquidation, his 42069 meme investment lost it all. AMC, stock hack, house hack, day trades. I can't remember it all. There's so much. He just goes. It's like you have to literally like catalog everything he does. You can't track it all. And people forget. I forget. Okay? That's the grift. You just constantly keep jumbling people's brains. It's like this overload of grift. So you forget about all the other grifts. It's crazy. Rare Cole, my Bob Dole's bottles. Yep, Cole's in the house. What's up, bro? Me, Kevin lost 30 million or so. He was just tax loss harvesting. I mean, tax loss harvesting generally is look, tax loss harvesting can be beneficial, but you actually have to buy like correlated assets. Like if I was to ever tax loss harvest, I would sell VT and buy VTI VXUS at the weights of VT. Like that's a legitimate tax loss harvest. Or there's like another ETF that's similar to VT. That's a good tax loss harvest. But like just tax loss harvesting doesn't mean it's good necessarily. If you're buying a stock that's totally different, I would not tax loss harvest because the second you sell a freaking stock, it could rip up in a vertical line. Sorry, the 42069 was on BlockFi, not AMC. He probably lost in AMC. No, he made money in everything, bro. Didn't he also short test? It's so impossible to know. You can't track him. Other losses, his friends. I would call that a gain. I wouldn't associate with those clowns. VT only went up because everyone is plunging in the top stocks of the index. Me, Kevin's wins are probably just his YouTube channel, his prior real estate agent success. Family with 7 kids too, but again, the nanny thing. Well, that's my psychopath theory, is that the psychopaths are outbreeding us because They could just grift like insane maniacs, make a bunch of money, and then they can afford all these kids. It's going to be psychopath planet before you know it. Bondholders are the real winners. Always buy puts, especially today. It's an insurance. Yes, it looks dumb when the market goes up, but once it goes down, I don't need insurance. What do I need insurance for? I have treasuries for liquidity. I don't need puts. Managing money isn't chasing vertical lives, but to stay. Oh, you stay alive? VT. There you go. You can't lose. But one stock beat it, so it's bad. It has nothing to do with using your brain, by the way. Well, in the short term, it's not even really brain. It's like, it's just a lot of like emotion. It's got some laughs. Yeah, he's right with that. Stocks are so easy. I mean, if you can beat the market consistently for like 20 or 30 years, that's an accomplishment. Beating it over a year or two is not an accomplishment, okay? You're just a clown. Gil, present yourself for beating over losing. Where is he? Where is Gil? People take information from 100 years ago and people were getting quotes on a journal. Well, I would argue that probably makes markets more efficient because you can literally like use AIs now to just suck up all the information. I think that makes markets more efficient. I think it's actually a good thing. Gil, you're a mega loser. I own you. Where's Gil? You haven't told us your strategy, but I was talking to Dan. Not here because clearly he thinks it's a waste of time. He's clapping some cheeks. Real, what's up, Mr. West the deal? Burry was down 90% and made millions. What's your point? I mean, Michael Burry, I don't agree with his strategy. He's just a freaking gambler. That's what he is. His entire portfolio changes every quarter. It's all over the place. Pay pig. Yeah, you're all freaking pay pigs. Give me all your freaking money, losers. ONG. Ong my dong. Exactly. We outperform all of you clowns. I'm sure you do, bro. Gil, get quiet. LOL, got quiet. He had to get a job. Are you mad? He's not in the chat. What's your point, Dan? You're still weak for blocking me, Dan. Literally, everyone is concentrated in the top 10 companies of VT. I would argue that VT is the least concentrated. I would argue I'm actually probably a lot less concentrated in the top 10 stocks than the vast majority of the market participants. If they go up, great, I win. If they go down, I don't lose as bad. Strongman for the win. That's right. I freaking won. I win. I always win. Would have more subs if you had a shirt. Pff, I don't care. Heading to Dairy Queen, you clown. Wait for the third video. Strongman has those luscious traps. I am a very attractive man. 420.69. Of course, that's how much he put in BlockFi. And of course, he lost it all. But
that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
And the whole thing about Michael Burry calling it in 2008 is a one-off. He's been wrong on everything ever since. Don't know why they keep jockeying that guy. He's a relic. Once you get famous, it's hard to dethrone you. Like, once you're, like, a big deal, you just stay around, even if you're a clown forever into the future. Trust me, I've noticed this with financial influencers. Anyway, that's it. Like, subscribe. Consider joining as a member on my YouTube channel to support the channel. Also, consider liking all of my different accounts on social media. I've got a Facebook page. It's called SMPH-PF. I've got an X account. Look up Strongman Personal Finance. It looks like a face inside of a female organ. I think it's pretty funny. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Book a free 30-minute tax consultation. I'm a certified public accountant and would gladly do your business and or personal taxes any state in the United States. You can talk to me for free. I give you upfront fixed quotes for tax preparation, and I'll do your taxes like a boss. You should definitely book a free consultation. Tax season's coming up before you know it. And yes, you can talk to me for free. That's right, for 30 minutes. Anyway, that's it. Hang out for the next video. I'm getting kind of freaking tired, but I guess I can do it real quick. I just want to lay in bed and be a vegetable, but I guess I'll do the last video, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers!